Hello, I'm Melissa and welcome to Teacher Inspiration Station. Happy New Year! This is my first video of 2020. And for a lot of teachers out there, it is also time to get your mind prepared for going back to school. So one of the great things about teaching is you start over every year, but throughout the year you have these like breaks where you can kind of start over, right? So I'm grateful for that. But what wasn't really working before, you can kind of change things up. And I treat the beginning of the year 2020 as like the beginning of the school year. So we don't just jump in and just pick up where we left off, but rather I kind of like go over rules again, because that last week before we went on break, there were a lot of things that were out of the routine. Like we had class parties and we did movies and little crafts, and like it was a little different from the regular routine. So I kind of want to get things back on track. So yeah, we don't just jump in. So anyways, I'm going to plan for Monday. And for those of you who have been following me, you know that I use a Happy Planner and I type out my plans using the rows and columns that they have. I kind of recreated it on my computer and I just plan on there. But because I want to show you what I'm doing and I don't know how to record screens on my computer or my laptop, I'm not gonna do it like that this year. I'm not gonna do it like that today. I'm just gonna type it up and do a recording of my phone screen, because I know how to record on my phone, but I don't know how to record using my laptop. So that's just what I'm gonna do today, and I'll take you along with me and you can see my thought process and what I'm doing, and hopefully you'll find this helpful and beneficial to you. Now, Monday, like I said, I treat this like it's the first day of school. So normally when the kids come in, they go to their desk, there's an index card, they write the word of the day, they put that in their communication bag, and then they get a book to read. But for that first day, I'm just gonna have them take their communication bags out, put it in the bin, and then they're just gonna get a book. And the book they're gonna get is gonna be in a circle on the carpet. So just pick one of the books that are on the carpet. Don't worry about picking another book, just pick one of those books. That's just what I'm gonna tell the kids. I'm just gonna keep it simple, keep it easy for that first day back. So let me type this up here and pull up my notes. Monday, January 6th, 2020. Woohoo! I didn't make a mistake and put 2019. So entry. Oops. You'll see I make a lot of mistakes. Students enter and put communication bag in the bin. Sit on the carpet with a book. So what I have the kids do is I play a song, like a good morning song. It's a Beautiful Day is the song. And when I play that song, it's a signal for kids to put their books away and have a seat on the carpet. So I'm gonna play that song and I'm gonna say, okay, let's see who remembers what it is they need to do. Oh, and as they're doing it, the song's playing and they're doing it, I'm praising them. I'm saying, oh, good job. And I'm singing along with the song as well. The whole point is by the end of the song, all kids need to be on the carpet and a 5-point check in their spots ready to go. I think they're gonna remember where their spots are on the carpet, but if they don't, it's not a big deal. I'll change it at some point this week anyway, because it needs to be changed anyway. You know, like things need like a little freshening up. So I have to change it anyway. So if they sing at their spots, that's fine. If they're not, that's fine. But I just need them all on the carpet in a 5-point check. So play It's a Beautiful Day, signaling students to put books away and sit on the carpet in a 5-point check. So we'll do that. And then I'll say my spiel. Welcome back. Happy New Year. I'm so happy to see you. And then I usually ask the kids what it is that they did. So do you guys have any news to share? So we'll start with news. So I'll just put news because I know what that means. Ask kids if they have news to share. I'll listen to like maybe 3 kids, because sometimes when you do too many, they just kind of go on and on. It can get kind of like, whew, okay. So I'll ask them if they have news to share. And then we'll do I'll ask them about rules. So I'll say, okay, who remembers the rules? So I'll just say rules refresher. What are our classroom rules? And our rules are walking feet, listening ears, helping hands, quiet mouths, eyes at the speaker, and respect yourselves, others, and property. So we actually have a song that we sing. Usually after the good morning song, we sing the rule song. We use our ears and listen, ears and listen. I'm not gonna sing the whole thing. But so we'll take the time and we'll sing the rule song after the kids tell me what the rules are. All right. And so after that, we'll do the calendar. Because it's a new year, we'll do the calendar routine. I'm thinking about the time at this point. So I should actually go back and write the time. So the period that I'm doing now is between 9 to 9:40. Okay, 9 to 9:40, actually. I like to do like a bit of a movement break. Now I have to say that I need to change things up because we do a lot of the same songs, a lot of the same movements. So I want to go on YouTube and see if I can find like a different song or something that we can do that's a little new. Yeah, just to kind of change things up. Although I don't feel like the kids are bored with what we have, because I do have quite a big a variety of songs, but still, it's nice to learn and do something new, right? So I'll hit up YouTube and find some movement break songs that we can do. So we'll sing a song, kind of get them stretching and moving, and then we will do our poem of the week. So every week I introduce them to a new poem, and if you Google New Year's poems, there is a wide variety of poems online. So I'll just pick one of them. I think the one I'm going to pick actually is, yeah, the one I'm going to do is it's called A New Year. A new year has begun. January is month number 1. It's the start of a whole new year. Yeah, so, and every day we do something different with the poem. So the first day it's just asking them, okay, actually let me type this in. So we'll read the poem of the week, and it's going to be A New Year. That's the name of the poem. Introduce the poem, ask students if they know any words. Yeah, so a student will come up and say, here's the word year, I know this word, here's is, or whatever is in the poem. So different kids do that, and then I read first, and then the kids say, we read second. So hopefully they'll remember what to do. And in the beginning, like when I first introduce it, it's very simple. It's just a basic reading of the poem. We might read it twice. Yeah, I might do a line and then they do a line, and whatever I'm feeling in the moment, I guess. But basically it's just a reading of the poem. The next day I might do circle rhyming pairs. The next day after that I might say, okay, let's do some actions for the poem. So there's just a variety of things that we can do. There's echo reading and different things we can do. So that is our shared reading for that day. And then I will do a discussion on New Year's resolutions. So I have this resources, and it talks about what New Year's resolutions are. And resolution is a promise you make to yourself to learn how to do something, to become better at something, to stop doing something, or to do things for others. And I kind of want it to be like classroom focused, I guess, as a way to build classroom management, and just a refresher for the kids on what they can do to be better in the classroom, or to help our classroom run smoothly. I think I'm gonna go with that approach, thinking about our rules and some of the routines that you remember in our classroom. What are some things that you can do, or that we can do as a class, to help things run better again? It could be like just now when I played the good morning song, all of you came and you sat on the carpet and you were in a 5-point check. So you guys did a really good job of that today. But do we always do a good job of that? Of what you remember? And the answer to that is no, because there's sometimes like 1 or 2 kids who are not at the carpet by the time the song is over. And I'll say, okay, so how can we turn that into a resolution? So when Miss Clark plays a good morning song, we immediately put our books away and sit on the carpet in a 5-point check. So I could write that down as like a resolution that we can do. What's something else you can do? When Miss Clark rings the bell, immediately put my hands on my head to show Miss Clark's attention. All this is for me, you know? But that does help the classroom go smoother, right? Or it could be like what they can do with one another. So if you see someone who doesn't have someone to play with at recess, invite children into your games, whatever. Just what we can do, not necessarily to make the class run better, but also to just have everyone have a better school experience, right? I guess that's the angle I'll take with it. So I'll write a couple on the chart paper and then I'll have them work in groups. So this actually usually works really well for me in my class, like having a chart paper and splitting them into groups of 4, 3 or 4, and them just give them each 1 marker. Like I've had it where they have a bunch of markers, but that, and like for me, that just doesn't work out. Here's your marker, here's your color, we're not arguing here. And that's it. And then put the markers away. And then they just draw and write about, yeah, what they can do to help the classroom. Yeah. So how can I write this? That was a bit of a mouthful. New Year's resolutions. What are New Year's resolutions? And then, and what can we do as a class? Or what can you do? Anyways, what can we do as a class to help our classroom community run smoothly? Okay, I can say write responses on chart paper. And have students brainstorm and write on chart paper in groups of 3 to 4. And I will create my groups. Yeah, so we'll do that. And then once kids are working, we will stop. And actually, I think so they will work until recess, pretty much. So this is around 9:40. We'll have this discussion here. Hold on. Okay. And then this will go until recess, which is at 10:20, but I have them start getting ready at around 10 after 10. So yeah, so they'll work on that till recess time. After recess, I'll have them continue, but this is just like finishing up. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have students share. Oops. Have students share. Yeah, I like that sharing piece, that's important. Ooh. And then I can write some responses on a chart paper. So I can pull 1 from each group, or maybe 2, or maybe I can do everything just of what they came up with as a group. And I could write ideas on chart paper. So write, I'll say add to the chart paper. Add to class chart list, I guess we'll say. Okay, so we do that, and then we're gonna have some time. I found these like really cute. I did it last year, but they're like little crowns, New Year's crowns. So I kind of want them to do that, but they can choose a resolution that we have just been talking about in class, or they can come up with their own. So it's just, okay, give me a minute, honey bear. Okay. So yeah, we'll do the little crowns. So I'm just gonna type it here, New Year's crowns. I know what that means. I'm not gonna get too detailed with my explanation. New Year's crowns. So it's both a writing and not really art. They're just kind of coloring it in. But yeah, we'll do that. New Year's crowns. And then we will they'll pretty much take us to lunch. Now, this is kind of like a tricky time because at 1 o'clock to 1:40, they have library. So we have like a half an hour, and there's not much time to do anything. Like, I can do a read aloud, sometimes I show a video, sometimes I just do like community building games. So, and it really is less than a half an hour because the time it takes for them to get their stuff off, especially now in the winter, get their stuff off, and then my camera cut off again. But what I was saying is, yeah, that half an hour, there's not much time to do anything. Yeah, by the time they take off everything and get them prepared in the line to be able to go up to the library, I probably only have like 20 minutes. So at that time, what I'm gonna do is I just recently was told about this website, and it is called oh goodness, I need to figure out what this website is. wodb.ca. So basically it has different, I guess, little cards, and you can do shapes, you can do numbers, you can graphs and equations. So what you do is you would show them a picture and you'll say what doesn't belong. And there's no right or wrong answer, but they need to be able to articulate in that group what it is that doesn't belong. We'll start off with what doesn't belong. So 12:30 to 1. So what doesn't belong? But actually, before we actually even play that, I will do like a counting by 5. So we have like these songs that we pretty much sing every day. So there's counting by 5s, counting by 10s, counting by 2s, counting by 3s. So we'll do our counting songs. So I'll just write counting songs. Counting by 10s, did I say that? And that's a good way to kind of get them settled. So yeah, we'll do that before we even get to the what doesn't belong. And then we'll do a read aloud. And the read aloud, I actually don't really know right now what we can do. I'm just gonna do a read aloud. It could be 5 Little Monkeys with Nothing to Do. I just have a math bin with a bunch of math books, and I'll just pick one and we'll read it. It's not much planning in that, but we're just gonna read for fun and enjoyment, and it'll just be a math book. So I don't know yet what book that's gonna be, but yeah, so I'll just say math read aloud. Because like I said, there really is not much time to do anything. So all the reading that I usually do at that point is for fun. Like, no strings attached, just listen to the book. And right after library, they have recess. So the library teacher just deals with that. When they come back, it is going to be 1:55. So at 1:55, so I'm gonna put here, whoop, I'll put library, prep, and recess. And then at 1:55 to 2:35, we're gonna do math graphing. Now this is gonna be very basic. So before the break, we did start off with graphing. They did bar graphs, we've done pictographs, we've done tallies, and they graph different things. They created their own questions to ask each other, and there's ones that I've come up with. But I just want to keep it with the whole New Year theme, the New Year vibe. I did come across this New Year's graphing activity. I think it was for free on Teachers Pay Teachers. And I'm just gonna do that. At the end of the day, at this time of the day, they're pretty much, they're tired. It's not complicated. This is a very basic graphic activity. And again, keeping with the theme of the new year. So if I can pull it up for you and show you what that looks like, I will. Yeah, so basically it says, what time did you go to bed on New Year's Eve? At the regular time, a little later, at midnight, or after midnight? And they can ask, oh, how much space is here? I guess they can ask everyone in the class. So they can ask 15 people in the classroom, what time did you go to bed on New Year's? So regular time, a little later, midnight, and after midnight. And then a place where they can draw a picture of them on New Year's Eve. And then they have to interpret the data. And that will probably take that entire period till 2:35, maybe even a little later. Yeah, math graphing. And then 2:35 till 3:15, I'll do a read aloud. I don't have my stuff here, but again, I'm just gonna do reading for fun. Maybe there's a New Year's book out there I can do. Sorry, I'm not really that prepared right now, but I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think I'll just do a read aloud for fun. So, and as the week goes on, I'll do more planned and purposeful read alouds, but we're just gonna keep it simple. So read aloud, not sure yet what that is going to be, don't judge. And then we'll have activity time. And during activity time, they have it's a lot of times it's like problem solving or being creative or just different skills I want them to master. But really, it's also a time for me to pull kids and just kind of work with them one-on-one. So for example, that whole graphing activity, like some kids may have had a hard time with that, so it gives me a chance to kind of go through their work and then pull kids who needed some help, especially at that last question that asked them to compare how many more versus, like, it gives me a time to kind of pull those kids and work with them. As a class, I could show some work and then we have a discussion on it, which I may or may not do, but I just like that whole one-on-one thing where I can just kind of pull kids, or even 2 by 2, just kind of pull them and just kind of work with them like that. So that's what I usually do during activity time. It could be reading, it could be math. It's just me working with kids who may be having a hard time. So that is what I'm going to do for activity time. So help students with graphing activity. Yeah, and then after that they get ready and we go home. So that is basically it. That is our day in a nutshell. And yeah, it's just getting our mind back and getting back into a groove and getting back into a routine, and that takes some time in order for it to be done properly. But that is it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it and that you found it helpful. Go ahead and give it a thumbs up so I know that you like these kinds of videos and I should make more. And also just let me know what kind of videos you're looking for from me in the future, and I will do my best to make those kinds of videos, your requests. Like this video, thumb it up, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye-bye.
Bye.